everybody to a new edition of
Um, hey, folks, I'm Tommy Highway. Want to thank everybody for coming out. Tim, we're having an audio issue with you pretty badly. I'm not sure. You were sounding fine backstage. Now something's wrong. Anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody for coming out as always. We have a fantastic show for you this evening. We have a couple of great guests. And, folks, our first guest, you've seen him here before. You know him. You love him. He's an author. He's an experiencer. He's an absolute super guy. We really love him here on the channel. Folks, we're privileged to have Terry Lovelace with us this evening. Terry?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me back. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys. Great content, great show.
Thank you very much for being here again, Terry. We really appreciate that. And folks, we've got a new person. She is an experiencer. She's got some fantastic photos and videos, things of that nature. She's actually really been new into ufology. She's getting into this. She's actually got a camera. She's been taking some fantastic shots out there. Folks, I want to go ahead and welcome Linda Darling with us, folks. Thank you very much for being here, ma'am.
No, Janet. Not Linda, Janet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Janet Darling. I'm sorry. My mistake.
Sorry.
Forgive me. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. And Tim?
How's my sound now? Better?
Yes, much better.
Okay. Tonight we're going to be discussing with Janet how she actually came into the ufology field. So the first question I got for you, Janet, is can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how this all began?
Okay. I'm married and I have no children. This started back in 2013 and 2014 when I lived in Fowler, California for those just 2 years. It's one of the county cities within Fresno County. I was a student, college student, and I had a lot of time after college, after the classes. My husband worked, and I had a lot of time on my hands. So I know my husband had this camera. It's a Nikon D50. And as an artist, I paint and draw, and I'm very curious. And I saw it just sitting there. It's not being used. So I thought, well, I'm going to teach myself how to work this camera. And I took photos. I wanted to share photos of my surroundings where I lived out in the country, surrounded by great vineyards. And I had this amazing view of the sky. And we had a pet bunny out there that was left from the former owner. And we had screech owls. I just wanted to take some photos and show my family. And when I did that, I was getting anomalies, objects. And that's when it started. And I wasn't asking for it. I wasn't looking for it. I knew about the subject, but I didn't engross myself into that. But I knew about it. But I wasn't, I didn't know about the photos and that you could just take photos and they appear. Yeah.
Tommy?
That's fantastic. So I guess when you first realize that you're looking at something, and because we've all had experiences, the three of us, and of course with you as well, when you first realized that, well, how can I ask this? What were your first thoughts when you realized that what you're looking at is obviously not terrestrial technology? I mean, what was your internal reaction to that?
My first thought was, oh, it's a weird bird. It was flying different. How the trajectory of a bird would in flight, because my love at the time was marine biology, and I was trying to study for that. And I love animals, and so I thought it was a bird. So I deleted that one that looked like it doesn't matter. But I had other ones that began to be all black, square, rectangle, lights in the sky. It's very unusual, and I didn't say anything to anybody. And I'm very kind of private, kind of shy, kind of reserved. But I am very curious. So I kept taking photos. So the more I took, the weirder they became. And there was one time when I asked my brother, can you lend me your Sony Digital 8 cassette camcorder? So he lent me that. And when I took photos and video at a certain time between 9 or when I go out 9 or 9:30 p.m. out in the front. It was all open. It was during the summer. I would remember capturing every photo, every video. But when I got my 4 cassette tapes back, transferred on a flash drive, and I uploaded them, one stood out. It was a video of a purple and green light flying object. It bothers me because I don't remember taking that video. And I remember looking at the video and studying it. I didn't hear my voice on there. I didn't say, ooh, wow. The video was very, very, it seemed so steady. The video I sent you was a video I took with the cell phone mini i12, and I videotaped it from my computer. I don't know why I did that, but I just did. But the original video showed no movement of me, no sound, just dead quiet. Yeah, earlier on, I had a 3x3-inch Pantech phone with video with 8 pixelation. Anyway, I had a video on there that I never took, and it was so pixelated and so strange. I had movements of characters or things on there, and the more I analyzed it, the more weird the things I saw on it. But then it fell in the bathtub this last year, and I ruined everything. But I still have the camera. I'm hoping to retrieve it. I don't know how. But I don't lie about this. I don't fabricate. I don't. During 2013 and 14, I didn't know about the drones we have today with the lights. All I knew was I did know about remote control aircraft. As a hobbyist, people do that as a hobby, airplanes. And I love aviation. So that's all I knew about things of that nature. So, and I understand people are going to be skeptic. Oh, it's laser lights. Oh, it's this and that. I totally understand. But this was real. It happened. That would take a long time to do. I've seen videos now. I'm trying to research what these things are in my video. And it is one video that this man, it looked like from the 1970s, a video of a man trying to capture a laser, and you're localizing it. And it doesn't look anything like I have, with the flashing lights, multicolored. But I just wanted to share my story to see if anybody else sees the same things I have. They're very unusual, I understand. It's very unique, but they're real, and it happened to me.
Right, and we plan on showing those videos that you took later on in our UFO video review, so everybody needs to hang around so they can check those videos out, and then we will talk more about them.
Okay.
She also took a very interesting photo, and it's not necessarily UFO related, but this photo on a mirror is it's Tim and I were just in awe when we first saw it, and there's all kinds of stuff going on there. This is going to blow your mind once we go ahead and show this to you, whenever you're ready to do that, Tim. But
yeah, this is the mirror in her bathroom without anything on it.
Look deeply into this. Look deeply into this. This is actually, obviously, the mirror's been steamed up and that sort of thing. And would you like to go ahead and tell us more about this, ma'am?
Yes. Okay, this happened probably a few months back. As usual, I was taking a bath, and you know how people do, they look around, and I saw something appearing from the left to right, and I kept watching it. I couldn't believe my eyes. Something was appearing, and it looked like a structure of some sort, but I wasn't not sure what to make of it. It's just very unusual. So when it was, the top part appeared, and then I noticed, wow, there's something below it, like more columns. And so I had to get out of the bath and everything and get my camera and take photos. So that's what I did. I should have took video, but the photos, I had to get them because they were so unusual. and very unique. I don't know what to make of it. To me, it looks like a bridge, but they look like really straight columns. And I noticed that this image it looked to me like it was created from the steam itself. And I cleaned this mirror prior with water, no chemicals, and I don't have etchings on my mirror. And it looks 3D. I don't know what to say. I'm kind of speechless.
Well, I mean, Tim and I were looking at this, and we sort of agree. We think we might see a building here, folks. If you look at the upper, let's say the upper left-hand portion, you see the structure is like it's maybe some kind of a balcony or something.
Yes.
And tell me that doesn't look like two windows next to each other. And then we notice that if you go to the right, it looks to us like there's a man standing there,
Yes.
like he's holding another person down or something like that, or maybe even whipping someone.
Oh, geez. I didn't see that, but I did see it looked like a figure with shoulders and a head, kind of rounded shoulders. But when I zoomed in on one of the photos I took, I don't know which one, but when I zoomed in, I actually saw like eye sockets. I mean, looked like eyes, 3D, with shading and everything. It was just unusual. And I'm not one to go this direction, but I just had to take the photos and just figure out if anyone else has had this experience. It's very unusual.
Well,
on that picture, there looks like there's a spiral staircase on the right.
I saw that.
Yeah, can you put that back up, Tim, please?
Yes, I can.
And if you look, if you see the man standing on top of the structure there, look down below it, and it looks like there's a couple of people standing there looking up, pointing up.
Wow.
At that figure right there.
Oh, wow.
At least that's what I'm seeing.
Well, I'm going to have to go look at those again.
That looks like a waterway underneath, going underneath a bridge, and maybe a couple of like boats, vessels,
gondola,
something, gondolas. Yeah, who knows?
But
that's I see that water aspect to it.
Yep.
But I don't understand if this was, to me, my mind is thinking like this. Okay, if this was something live going on and there's some figure there, I would think there would be some kind of movement. That's where my mind was going, not like a picture. If this was something going on, then now I feel like I'm being watched now if I take a bath. It's very unusual.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. It's a very unique thing. I mean, maybe it's just steam on a mirror, maybe it's some kind of a message from beyond. Don't know, but there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, I really looked at these and I looked at them real close, and those columns are so straight. There's no way. I'm an artist. There's no way I could create something like that.
And how long did that image last?
It lasted for 2 days.
Wow.
Has it ever reappeared?
Even after I wiped the mirror down. And I didn't use any chemicals. I wanted to make sure, because when I saw it, I go, oh, they're going to say, oh, it's oil, it's chemicals. Oh, it's going to create. But I read that it doesn't do that. So I wiped it down, and again, it happened. The same format, the same structure, the same everything looked the same. Yeah. This is probably the most bizarre thing that's ever happened to me.
It's not something that we normally do here at the channel, but we thought it was so unique that we had to show our audience, just because there's so much going on there. And maybe it's just complete and total coincidence, but if it is, it's a damn odd one. I'll put it that way.
Right. We have a couple stories for Janet to talk about. First one is this one.
Yes. I love that. That was an amazing sighting I actually had out in Fowler. There's a lot of sightings that I saw out there in Fowler. It's probably the bulk of my photos and stuff. But I was out in the backyard, and like I said, I'm surrounded by great vineyards. One night, this was around 7 p.m., 7:30-ish or so, and I watched this object from start to as far as I could see when I went out in the distance for about 25, 30 minutes. So in the beginning, I was out back, and there was a brick fence. There's the garage on the left. So when I happened to look to my left, I believe it was during the summer, I can't remember, but it was a very clear night. No aircraft in the sky. I was just out there just gazing at the stars. I looked to my left, this object was pretty close. It seemed like it was 2 stories high, and it was pretty big. It was all red with like a rectangle and was pulsating red, silent light that had rounded edges. And it went over the garage, and then it slowly dipped down lower, and it made a straight path past me from left to right. Then it curved around and in an S formation, and it took off towards the south, and that would be towards Selma, another city. But it was going so slow, and it was amazing. And like I said, I went around in the back. I forgot to tell you guys, but I went around the back and checked the vineyards. There's nobody out there. And I didn't know anything about drones back then, but I knew about helicopters, RC helicopters. But there was nobody back there. There were no cars. There was no indication of anybody back there doing anything. It was just an amazing sight. And I just watched it. And I begged my husband to come out. You got to see this. You got to see this. But he never came out. Oh, I wish I had a video of that. It was amazing.
Yeah, and it just went off toward what, the north or the south, or?
Well, it went towards the south, towards Selma,
Okay.
another city within Fresno County.
So you watched this for 30 minutes.
Exactly, 25, 30 minutes, until I could not see that object anymore.
Did it make any noise?
Yeah.
No, it was silent. It was all red. I shouldn't have outlined it in black pen, but it was just a solid pulsating light that had the light within itself coming out. The light was coming from within. It didn't shine. It was just a glow. It was beautiful. It was very interesting. I don't know what that was. It's crazy.
Wow,
But it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yes. And that changes your whole worldview, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it was big. It's hard to gauge the size of something. At first, when they seem big, when they come close, they're smaller. It's odd. I just don't know. But it was interesting.
Okay, we have your other sighting.
Okay. Again, Fowler. And I made a note that every time I'd go out and stargaze, it would be either 9 p.m. or 9:30. So I'm guessing this was August 6th. And had to be around, I have a time on there, 9 p.m., 9:12 or something approximately. So what I did was go out in the front, and I just look up at the stars like I like to do. But I focused in one area, this group of stars. I don't know why, but I just happened to stare at this one, just focus my vision, my eyesight on it. Then I happened to see this starlight, this gold star. It was gold. And it just looked like a star up there with the points radiating out. And then I saw it slowly come down further down towards my direction, towards my house. And this time it kind of freaked me out. It really scared me. I was so naive. I don't know what it is. And it looked like a star, and it looked like it was growing in size or big. And I took off running opposite of in the front yard towards the farm equipment and hid behind it. And then it slowly came down, and then it wasn't as big as what I thought. It just looked like a gold star. And then it turned with intelligence. It's weird. It turned and it went past overhead of the grape vineyards until I didn't see it anymore. But other ones I saw white ones, and they would disappear. Oh my. I'm telling you. Yeah, it was weird.
That's very awesome. Terry, what do you think of this?
I think it's incredible. I think it's just some really, really cool stuff. I see some commonalities. I know Janet and I exchanged a couple photographs. You have one of a saucer that
Yes.
Just really resonated with me. I think I sent you a picture of my saucer, the one I took over my house. And
I saved it, and I compared the two, and man, I'm telling you.
Looked like the same thing to me.
I know.
I enlarged that saucer, and I have it in a photo display that we're going to bring up here shortly. But I'm going to wait and see if Tommy has anything else to say. Tommy?
Well, I've always been interested in the psychological aspects of after an encounter. I know when I had my first close encounter, it was so profound and it disturbing in a way that it changed my entire worldview. I mean, within a matter of minutes. I mean, I remember going through a range of emotions, while I'm watching what's going on in front of me. Fear and was one of them. Wonder was another one. I was also obviously being inquisitive about it. But the thing about it was the other thing that really got me was anger. And it was anger because I'd realized that at that point, the government of the United States of America has been lying through its teeth to us for a very, very long time, for decades anyway, about what they know about this. And just to me, when you encounter this technology, you automatically know that this is not from here. And I'm just wondering, do you have the same thought on that?
Well, if you want to go in that area, there's another person that I really like, and he's very logical, Daryl Sims. So I kind of like where he's going because he likes the facts. And I like that. He doesn't let any other stuff interfere. He's going for the facts, and I think his ideas are very interesting, compelling, and it seems like there are layers and layers and layers of when somebody gets put under. You have to peel back those layers just to get to the answer. He has a lot of interesting, things out there to watch. I like him a lot. So I know you're very familiar. He's very famous. So he's one of my favorites. So I don't know if they're from here or there, but from one of the things he said was that they have there was that craft 500 by 50 or something. If they have a craft so huge, why do they need a planet? And another thing where I heard a UFO abductee, they mentioned that they were on a craft really big and they had saucers on it. That must have been you, Terry. Was that you?
Yes.
Okay, I thought I heard another story too. They saw saucers, but that's my question is, why don't they ask the aliens, where did you create these crafts? How do you do it? Like, where do you do this at?
They weren't made by Boeing.
Yeah. But real quick, I have another object light that happened around July in the summer in Fowler. If I can tell that short little story. Okay, it was another starlight. It was amazing. My husband and I, we were in the back of his truck, and it was a beautiful summer night. We had our chairs in the back pickup, facing this open view, and it was, I believe, just after sunset. I don't know if it was blue hour. Probably was. Blue hours in between dark and after sunset. It's beautiful. I was sitting there with my husband. I turned to my left, and our house is back towards our left side. And I saw this white starlight glide over our roof. And it was under 30. It was about approximately 30 feet high, because I researched, I tried to figure, because we have a telephone pole, an old telephone pole, not the real tall ones, but the ones, and it had to be around 30 feet. And it glided over our house, glided over the yard, real slow. It was white. It was delicate with the points, just delicate. It's amazing. And my husband said, gotta go in the house and get your camera. And I go, I don't know where it is. I'm afraid to miss it. But I watched it, and we both watched it. And we watched it glide across over our yard, real slow. And I watched it, and it seemed like it dipped down a little bit. And there's this shed right in front of us, like an equipment shed. And I ran towards that, and I went in the back of the shed because it looked like it was going to turn and go in the back of the shed, which it did. And it was smaller now in size. Before, I thought it was huge. And now it's like a like a golf ball size or something, and it had to be at least 6 feet tall. And I was right there in the vineyards in the front, and there's a shed and there's space in between. And it turned and it came right in front of me, and then the head of it disappeared and it left a trail of sparks, just sparkly, long trail, and then that disappeared. I go, what the heck is that? That was another amazing thing. I saw it in person. It just, I don't know what they were.
Did your husband see it?
He saw it, but I went in the back and saw it actually disappear. But to this day, he says, I don't remember that. I don't think he files it like I do. I file things and I remember things, but yeah.
Some people just can't wrap their head around the idea that these things exist, and it could be one of the reasons why he doesn't file it.
And that could speak to the influence that these things can have over us. They may have taken that memory from him.
Blocked it.
It wasn't an orb, but it looked just like a light, a delicate, pale white light. It was just so pretty. It was so delicate. I don't know. It just glided across 30 feet above.
How big do you think that light was?
Well, in the very beginning, I thought it was the size of like a one of those medicine balls in the gym, like really big. And then you perceive something, and then later on you notice that it's smaller now, real small, like a golf ball size. My mind, I can't comprehend. I wish I had a video. Those amazing ones, I wish I had a video of it. I did get the purple and green one. That was good, but I don't remember that one. But we did see another light. We did see another light later, and it was a white light, and it was in front of our house, and we were both inside the house. And I said, Rick, come here. I want to prove it to you. I saw this white light. It's coming again. It came over in front of our front door, not right in front, but over the vineyards, and it turned left and went straight. I mean, like northeast. And we watched it. I said, Rick, come here. You got to see that. He saw it. And I just kept, and he went back and sat down and watched TV. And I went out there and I watched it. And I go, what is this? What are these things? I've seen white ones and gold ones. They weren't orbs. They were like light. I know I sound crazy, but it happened.
Yeah.
So.
No, you don't sound crazy. A lot of people see stuff like that. So, yeah. So that's very amazing. Well, I think we should get into our pictures.
Okay.
What do you think, Tommy?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and run them. Folks, some of these are just absolutely mind-blowing. You're going to love them.
Here we go. We could stop on them so she can talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
Janice?
Okay, we can guess what city this is. Okay, this is the town of Fowler. Fowler at that time, back in 2014, had probably approximately 5,000 people, residents. Okay, this was 2014, and I was outside, and I saw this this light up in the northeast. I would probably guesstimate the degrees would probably be about 40, 45 maybe. Trying to remember because it was way back then, but it was flashing multiple colors. It looked like glass. It looked huge, hovering, no sound. This must have been probably a mile or half a mile away. And I had a clear view. It was starry night, no aircraft. It was clear. It was beautiful. So I saw it and I go, well, I'll look at it later. I was outside, and later I came in, and then we have a back office, and we have these picture windows. Back then it was an old rental. And I went back there. I had a telescope back there, and I had my brother's Sony Digital 8 cassette camcorder. And I looked through the telescope to see what this thing was. And I was astonished, perplexed. I was taken back. I can't believe this to be an actual craft or something. It didn't look like a helicopter. It was stationary. It was amazing. I said, wow, I'm going to get that camcorder. I'm going to put it up to the telescope eyepiece. I want to get a closer view and videotape of this thing. I'm trying to make it steady, but of course, when it goes in and out, it's, the object goes in and out. A view, that's my fault. But I tried real hard to keep steady, and so that's what I captured. It was, yeah. And then when I took photos of the stills, they look different, but I think it's just changing colors, but it still has that gap in the middle. So it looked like grids. The green ones, the two green ones are my favorite. They look like grids, like maybe because of the color was shining through or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a vertical bar like things going through that. That's what you're talking about?
It looks like a gap, like two lights. There's a gap in between.
Okay.
I actually pulled this red image from the same images.
Yeah.
So this shows where it changed color.
Yeah. And at first I thought maybe it was changing shape, but I don't think it was. It's just color, I believe.
Okay, go to the next one.
But the green ones are my favorite. They look really detailed, like look like a craft, Oh, that one, I don't know what that one is.
That one was taken from one of your videos.
Oh, you mean the multi-flashing light? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was showing how dark blue it is
Okay.
with the white center.
Okay.
Then the next one is.
Oh yeah, that I don't know. That has nothing to do with the multicolored 2014 craft. These are like separate. They're orbs, I think. I don't know what they are, but yeah.
Okay, here's another one. This is a cylinder that you took.
Oh, that's really close up. Okay. That's a different photo. Yeah. I sent you a zillion photos, sorry. Okay, that's something I caught, an orb thingy in my backyard.
It's very Tic Tac like.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay, that was taken in Nevada when I was leaving Pahrump. And I saw a light, so I just started taking photos. This one was the best one. So yeah, I was in the desert, leaving, so with family and everything. And that was back in 2017. This was Fowler again over, like I said, I had a D50 Nikon, and back then I didn't know what aperture and shutter speed was. So whatever settings it was on, that's how they looked. So yeah.
I love the sun glinting off the top of that and then that shaded underneath.
It sure looks metallic, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I tried to rationalize. Could this be a bird? Could this be, what is it? A balloon? It didn't, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Sometimes I would see light in the sky and I would just point my camera and I would capture something, like a flash of tiny pinpoint light. And I thought, okay, I'll just shoot over there and I'd catch something.
What's this?
I don't know. That's a good question. I took a photo of it. It was from my backyard here in Fresno. So, yeah. I'm stumped as much as you are.
Were those in motion? Did you see them move?
Yeah, it was moving, so I just snapped pictures. Maybe that was it. I don't know, but I caught other ones that were stationary, and they would look like strings of light. Kind of weird.
This one's pretty well defined.
Tic Tac.
Yeah, I see some of these that just hover for like an hour, and then I take photos, and then I just, okay, I took my photo, and I would leave, and then later they'd be gone. So
there's the disc.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if that was a bird, but I didn't see it. This time I just took a photo out of my car window. I was at a stoplight. I don't take photos when I'm driving. so,
Looks like a solid object.
yeah. And the car window was down. So, and that was probably taken with my newer camera, Nikon
Look at this.
D3300. Okay, this was interesting. I was in my backyard and I saw this beautiful bright light, probably corner northeast direction, really up high. And I said, okay, here's another one. I'm going to have to take a photo because it looked kind of like a bluish white light. And I never seen anything like it. It was stationary, quiet. And I said, okay, I'm going to take a photo of this. But I don't remember exactly which camera I used because I had a Nikon D3300 and I have my Panasonic that has 500 times zoom, which you could go 10 miles. I don't know which one of those I used, but when I saw this, okay, that took the cake right there. No, I can't believe this. A ribbon? Come on. I don't know what it was.
I've seen lots of pictures, and when I saw this one, I thought, that's a first. I have never seen anything like that. That is really unique.
Incredibly
I
unique.
haven't either.
I tried to research this. I don't have Photoshop. I don't do any of that. I don't do manipulation. I don't add and subtract and all this fancy stuff. I'm not into that. I have iPhoto on my Mac, and it just does color enhancements, light, dark, definition, contrast, things of that nature. Just the very basics. But when I got this back, yeah, I couldn't believe it. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what. I tried to find it online, like, oh, anybody else have this photo? What's going on? A Fowler again. Okay, I was in my car, and I just took a snapshot of the sky. I didn't see it, so that's what I captured. I thought, oh, it's a bird, but it's so precise. I never, I tried to go online to find birds with wings that would be like that.
What year was this, do you think?
I would believe 2014. Fowler.
This almost looks like a TR6.
Or
I wouldn't know. I know it was silent. I mean, I didn't hear anything. Like I said, I didn't see it when I took a photo, but I know I didn't hear anything.
interesting.
The TR6 is more dart shaped, like this, like a boomerang.
I'm wondering if that's not that new bomber, that new B21. 2014 though. I don't even know if I don't know if it was flying yet.
Right.
Yeah, I only lived in Fowler for 2013 and 14, just those 2 years.
That's an unknown.
Okay, Fowler. This is one of the earliest photos, and this one really it bothered me. It gave me the chills, kind of. I was out the front. I was out my front yard in Fowler, okay, and I literally saw this object. I was facing north over the vineyards. I had my camera. I was just snap shooting screech owls, and I looked to my left, and this thing was hovering. It just stayed there for, I don't know, about a minute or two, maybe longer. It just gave me the creeps. It was dark, black, no noise. It just was there. And I felt like, man, I'm being watched. What is this thing? I've never seen anything like it. And then it slowly moved towards the south and then disappeared.
We do have a question from the audience, if you don't mind. Anna Ridgway is asking, do you feel that they are following you?
I couldn't say because I don't have any data to prove or disprove that. I have no idea. I don't want to go into, yeah, they are. I have no idea. To be honest, I don't know. But thank you for the question.
That's definitely interesting. That is a solid object, and it does not conform to any known aircraft.
And then it did not make a sound. I did not see any windows. It was just solid black. And it had that point. I don't know. It's weird. Okay, this was out in Fowler again. I'm looking south towards another city, Selma. I saw a black helicopter, but I did not see this object when I took a photo. I saw the object after.
Top left.
Yes, and the object to me looks rectangulish, solid, square, or whatever, solid color, black.
Hmm.
You know, I see a little bit of a dome-like structure on top. I wonder if maybe it could be a saucer with it tilted at an angle that it shows the shaded underside and hides more of the dome-shaped silver.
I don't know.
Definitely look like there's light reflecting off the top of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this was probably around 1 in the afternoon or so.
Well, being that there's a black helicopter there, they may have known that object was there.
You know, if you can blow up the pictures of the helicopters, I had an issue with helicopters circling my house, and I would photograph them to look for aviation law. Federal Aviation Administration says that if you got a helicopter, you got a plane, you got to display a alphabetical symbol N, like in Nancy, followed by a sequence of numbers to identify that particular vehicle. And but when you see one and it has no markings on it, there's an exception to the law down below where it says exemptions, U.S. military and certain designated agencies.
Right.
But can black helicopters have black imprint with their numbers, but in black?
I don't know. Black imprinted numbers against a black helicopter, I think, would be invisible.
I don't know. I just
they don't have to display. If, like I say, if they're military or if they belong to certain government agencies, they don't have to display.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you can discern. Am I looking at something that's a civilian commercial helicopter that what we normally see, or am I looking at something that's not?
That was taken on a screen on my computer. Sorry about that. But I saw this light, but I didn't know to the degree what I would capture. I just saw like a pink light. So I just, again, took my camera and aimed it that way, and I got that.
Interesting.
Okay, this was during Thanksgiving at my mother-in-law's neighborhood. I didn't see it again, but I just happened to take photos because I brought my camera, because it was family gathering. And I said, I just take snapshots. And here we go with the objects. And yeah, it's crazy.
That's a really good one. That to me looks like a disc tilted.
Boy, sure enough, it does to me. Tommy, what do you think?
I agree. I think we're looking at a disc. That is just.
I know.
It's even got some context to it too, so it's interesting.
Okay, this was interesting. This was over my rental house out in the country in Fowler again. I don't know if this was 14 or 13, but again, taking photos of the clouds because I like taking photos of beautiful clouds and all that. But again, here we go with the objects. And on the corners, they were a light pinkish color, but I don't know if you could see that on there.
A little bit, maybe in the gray picture, but
yeah, I sent this into World UFO, and a man that runs the website named Ken, he did this for me. He did the outline, circled and all that. So he put this photo on his website. So
this is a very nice photo.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to do that. So
definitely appears to be a cylinder vehicle of some kind.
Yes, kind of translucent, but not transparent.
What do you think, Terry?
I think it's very cool. I like the sharp edges on it that make it look like I've seen some, I've never taken a picture of one, but I've seen other photographs. You probably have too, Tim, of the things that look like a bar.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good one, bar. Yeah. And it was silent out when I was taking photos, so no sound. So
Wow.
no aircraft out there. Oh, this was cool. Okay, this was taken in Fresno. I was attending Fresno City College, and I was going towards my class, but I was out in the parking lot. I just got out of my car, and I saw this pink light flash, a big light flash on the left side of my view towards the east. And I said, okay, here we go. Yeah, I'll just face it that way. I really don't think I'll capture anything. Oh my gosh. This incredible.
Wow.
That's all. I didn't see it. I just saw a flash of pink light. I go, I gotta take a picture. I don't know where. I just aim it that way. It's amazing how I just aim it. I could capture it.
Definitely different. Look at that.
And after I took a photo, I didn't see anything in the sky.
See, that's why it seems like they may have a connection to you in some way or form. Because you're getting lucky when you aim your camera.
Yeah, I don't know. Those were wild times back then. I couldn't believe what I captured. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you about this one. This was here where I live now in Fresno, okay? I think it was before COVID, of course. I saw this. I didn't see what it looked like, the details of it, or metallic. I just saw this really bright light coming from, I was looking east. No, I mean west. I'm sorry, west of my house, my backyard. And I had my camcorder and my newer one and the Panasonic. And I saw this light. I said, okay, I'm going to capture this. So I videotaped it, and it came from the west and then turned towards the south, and then I uploaded it. Wow, I couldn't believe it. Boomerang, double, but there might have been a third boomerang metallic object onto the right, like a shadowy, or I don't know, but I couldn't believe it. Yeah. It was awesome. It made no sound.
That's definitely unique.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Never.
No sound. It just light, and it was amazing. I had to capture it. But when I was videotaping it, I didn't see it look like this until did the video stills, and wow, couldn't believe it.
Very nice.
Oh, this is odd. I don't even remember. It's the weirdest thing. It looks like some kind of farm equipment, but with headlights. I don't even remember where I took this. I just aimed at the sky, and that's what I got.
I have to say, my first thought when I saw this were two birds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the lights are what kind of throws it off.
Yeah, I know. I have no explanation. I feel embarrassed. I don't know. These things pop up. I don't know what to say. I have no explanation, people. I know it's not a helicopter or any conventional plane with the regular normal lights and windows. I don't know what it is. Okay, here was a video still of the multicolored craft in Fowler in 2014. Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're back to the beginning. So
Okay.
we have covered all of Janet Darling's amazing UFO photographs. And you have heard it here on UFO Man Live Show first. So, Janet, thank you for all your stories. Really appreciate them.
Thank you.
And the fact that you came forward and shared with all of our viewers and the people online. It's just fantastic. I've taken a few photographs myself, but not as many as you have. You're quite prolific.
Mm-hmm. Very
Oh, I
impressive
am.
collection.
You never know what you're going to capture. I had a lot of time on my hands besides school, Then I went into, since the marine biology degree didn't work out, I went into a couple of medical programs, CNA, certified nursing assistant, and a sterile processing tech, where they sterilize hospital instruments and pack them for OR and orthoscopic departments.
Right.
Autoclave.
Yeah, yeah.
Outstanding. Well, you want to go ahead and go to the next segment, Tim?
Yeah, our next segment this evening is the UFO video review, and the first 3 videos are from Janet Darling. So let's take a look at them.
There it is. Yeah, one.
I said Fresno. It was Fowler.
It's Fresno County. It's one of the smaller towns, Fowler. So this is the video. I took my Sony, or my brother's Sony digital cassette camcorder, put it on the telescope eyepiece to videotape it, and I'm sorry that it goes in and out of frame. It's my fault. But it was hovering. It was quiet. Beautiful, clear night. No other aircraft in vicinity. This is one of my favorite videos. I can't believe I caught something like this. Pretty amazing, I think.
Absolutely amazing. That's just something you don't see every day. I mean, I can't, I mean, that just doesn't look like anything else, weather phenomenon, or, I mean, anything like that. Could that be some kind of lightning? I've never seen anything like that if it is.
No, it was during the summer. Yeah. There was nothing obstructing the view. There were no telephone wires, nothing. And again, I don't lie to people. I don't fabricate. I don't embellish. I don't try to trick people. This is a real deal. This is what I had during 2014. What my brother lent me, a Sony 8 digital camcorder, and put it on the telescope eyepiece just to get a better view. And it was very clumsy for me to try to get it steady. I was trying to look at the, how you open it up. And anyways, I tried my best, but I'm glad I caught it.
I think you did a great job.
Yes.
Thank you.
And these are the 3 stills associated with it.
That is absolutely amazing.
Excellent.
Do you have the one where it has it looks like a hole with a person's head in it? The one I showed you, the photograph of the green graph? This one?
Bright lights, but nothing like this. This is absolutely crazy.
Wow.
I've seen several of these in Fowler and in Fresno, but I haven't seen any more lately.
Yeah, so my first thought when I saw it was perhaps a star, but
I know
the center light doesn't flicker like a star. It stays solid.
Right. The thing of it is, I have 2 videos, one of this particular same looking video craft thingy, whatever it is, I don't know what it is, and then another one in Fowler. So I don't know if this one's from Fowler or Fresno here. The one in Fowler I took inside my kitchen window, and it was lower. It was below cloud level. And it looked just like this, and it looked like glass. When I looked at it, it was like glass. It was so shiny and sharp and so vivid, and it was amazing. So I'm sorry, I don't know where this was taken. I think Fowler, because I see my no, maybe it was here. I can't remember. Sorry.
Hey guys, it's UFO Man. Here's another clip from Janet Darling from Fowler, California.
This is the one you were talking about earlier, the one that kind of looked like a bow tie.
Oh, I don't know if it looks like a bow tie from my perspective, but this is the one that is in Fowler, and I'm guesstimating it had to be between 9 and 9:30 or after 9:30ish. But I took this on my brother's camcorder, a Sony 8 cassette camcorder, But the thing of it is I remember every photo. I remember every video I take. But when I saw this, these videos were transferred on a flash drive. So when I went back and looked at everything I took in Fowler back then, it took years for me to wait to finally get all these transferred. And I did this recently before COVID. But anyway, this is the video I don't ever remember taking at all. And the original video, it was very, very steady, and I don't hear my voice on it. Usually when I see something amazing, I comment. I say something, but this is very odd. And it bothers me to this day. I can't remember that I took this. I don't remember seeing it. And I know it's flying. I was outside.
You know
But
what? To
how
me,
did I
it looks
get
like
it?
something alive almost. It moves
And
almost
I
like a
thought,
living creature.
I was trying to be logical. I thought, oh, it's one of those light bugs. But I looked online, Google image, and tried to research. There is not to my knowledge, this out there somewhere in nature. I thought it was a light bug, but I've seen light bugs and they don't look and act like this. I'm perplexed. I'm taken back. I don't know. But it's very interesting. It's one of my favorite videos that I'm taking.
Somebody on the channel, when I posted this up on the channel, it suggested it might be a rocket launch.
No. This was out in my front yard in
Okay,
Fowler.
so that wouldn't have happened.
No, yeah.
Okay, and then Drew from Paranormal Vlogs asked, was there any sound?
No, absolutely no sound. But you know what? I don't remember taking this video.
Oh,
But
yeah, so you
everything
would know, yeah.
Yeah, everything I've taken had no sound. But thank you. Yes. It bothers me to this day that I know for a fact that I was the only one using this camcorder that my brother let me during this time when I lived in Fowler, and I only had it for a brief time. I don't know what to say. I know it was flying. You can tell it's flying. It comes up to the camera. Yeah, I don't know. Very
Have you,
different.
have
I've
you
never
ever
seen
had
it online.
Have you ever had any dreams about any of these images, Janet?
No, but I did have one dream of um, something else. Yeah, those were beans.
Something that scared you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. I know where you're going.
Yeah, yeah, crazy.
No,
Did
you're
you
not going
draw them?
crazy.
Huh?
Yeah, I agree. You're not going crazy. Did
No,
you draw
I'm
them?
not. I know I'm not. No, yeah. And this isn't no laser. I didn't own any lasers back then. Lasers usually would show a beam. But if, like I said, there are things out there that you can. I don't know, but I didn't fool with it. This is what I captured. So
All right, continuing on. Thank you.
okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've seen that. That must be from the ISS.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty cool. Pretty
Now
amazing.
there's one right there, but it joins up with another one.
Yeah, I love it. It's a really cool
I haven't
video.
seen these. Wow.
Yeah, I recently
It's
saw it.
changing course. It's not if it were orbital debris or something like that, it's going to be traveling at the same speed, at the same course. And this thing is flying around with impunity. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is close.
Yeah, with intent.
Get a better look at it. And you'll see it join with
Amazing.
the other one.
Incredible.
Thank you, Al Warrior. Much appreciated. See, there are
Yeah.
two right there.
Amazing.
Oh yeah.
NASA shut off the feed as the footage was playing.
Just shocker.
Yeah.
Hey
Ooh, what
guys,
is
it's UFO Man. Here's a clip coming out of Russia of an unknown object in the sky. Appears to be structured and moving slowly down toward the building. Filmed on 12/10/2021.
Now, I saw the translation for this from the Russian, and the guy had no clue. He just said it was bullet shaped, it was in the atmosphere, it wasn't in space. He thought if it would have been in space, it would be a comet, but it wasn't in space. It was like lower than that. It was just above the cloud cover. I don't know what that is.
Well, if a comet that size would have been visible anywhere on the planet, we'd have heard about it.
Right.
Definitely.
You know, the bird in the background really gives it depth, and you can see that it's not just, you know, a static image. It's
Now,
It's-
we could
it's
be
really
looking
there.
at debris entering the atmosphere, possibly. Don't know.
Don't know.
that really looks structured. I think that's the right word.
Mhm.
It actually retains its shape and its length. You would think with debris it would break up on the way in.
Mhm. Hmm.
Where's Avi Loeb when we need him?
Right. Maybe it's Oumuamua's twin. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I don't think we're looking at asteroid or comet or something like that.
Right.
That would be all over the place. News wise, I don't know what that is, but that is very, very interesting. It's definitely something.
Hmm.
Six orb type UFOs hovering in one place over Tampa Bay, Florida.
Hey guys, it's UFO Man. Here's a clip coming out of Tampa, Florida, dated 12/15/2021.
It just shows six objects in place. Now, I'll darken it so you can get a better look at the objects because the objects were actually white in color. And they're just sitting there.
Isn't that aren't they shaping like the constellation? Can't think of it, but I've seen this before. It's
No kidding.
like maybe they're trying to sell it, like they're trying to tell us something.
Looks like the arrow from the Perseus constellation, kind of, on the left.
I mean, clearly they're not stars; they're clearly in the atmosphere. But I'm just saying that's what that reminds me of.
And the only reason I included this is because they were so still and they didn't change.
Right.
There it is, white.
Wow.
There it is as orange.
That's neat. Wow.
I have one coming up that I don't know what it is. It's a classic UFO Man clip. I don't know if it's next or not, but when it does come up, we'll talk about it. Yeah, this is it. What the heck is that?
Yep.
It's amazing.
I actually thought it might be some type of aerial
Hey guys, it's UFO
platform
Man. Here's a clip coming out of Southern California.
that maybe somebody's piloting. I'm not,
I don't see what kind of propulsion system it'd be using to be that stable.
right. I don't know what
That
that
to me,
is.
that looks just like a genuine UFO if I've ever seen one, folks.
Sure.
That's really unique.
Hmm.
I'll show you some close-ups. There's one in black and white. There's one in color.
Very cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
Huh.
Very unique.
What is this? I have no clue what it is.
Yeah.
YouTube AWS says creepy, looks very mechanical.
I agree.
Bob Gray says a flying honeycomb. Kelly Lewis says it looks like a hand grenade to me. Well, that's true. It does.
I had that thought.
Hey guys, it's UFO Man. Here's a clip coming out of Mexico at the Popocatépetl volcano, filmed by a web camera on December 9th, 2021.
And we know how UFOs love volcanoes for some reason. I mean, anytime there's an active volcano, you get all kinds of UFO activity around it, it seems like.
These seem like there's 4 to 5 of them exiting the cauldron real fast.
Yep.
And there are 5. When you see it at the beginning, when I play it again, you'll see the first one kind of fade. There's 1 in front, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. In a deliberate course. This isn't something that's being ejected out of that. I mean, look at the smoke. It's all wrong. I mean, that's something leaving the area, folks. Wow.
Okay, that's our UFO video review for 12/18/2021. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe.
Thank you.
Okay, Tommy, can you take us to our next segment?
I can do that, sir. On Thursday, December 9th of 2021 at 5:10 p.m., James, is it Lowe, wrote, key House and Senate members have agreed to the Gillibrand Amendment becoming part of the 2022 Defense Authorization Bill. The details are contained in the attached press release. A bipartisan group of senators reached an agreement with the Pentagon and the House drafter of the original UAP language, Representative Ruben Gallegos. He's a Democrat out of Arizona. This agreement contains language requiring the Pentagon/intelligence community to study the health effects of contact with UAP, along with the other defense aspects of the phenomenon. Over Pentagon objections, Congress will receive an unclassified report every October 31st through 2026. Funding will be provided through normal intelligence funding sources. This will prevent the bureaucracy from defunding the UAP office for the life of this bill. This will prevent the Pentagon from defunding the program after 2 years, like it did to the 2007 program championed by former Senator Harry Reid. One element was dropped from Gillibrand's original proposed amendment. There will not be a civilian commission studying UAP at the same time. However, Congress will receive more briefings than originally proposed. The Pentagon objected to the potential security risks with multiple outside groups having access to classified information. Let me go ahead and make a statement on that. What that means, what it tells me, is that they're not going to tell Johnny Q, the public, anything. This is going to be something that's going to be so classified. We have not gotten any further, folks, in my opinion, at this point. I think this actually proves it. This is something that they're coming out and saying, okay, well, at least we're trying to do something, but hey, you'll never get to see it. Well, see, that doesn't really help our cause out here, if you ask me. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Let me go ahead and continue. This is the biggest and most comprehensive legislation ever considered by Congress in the 75-year plus history of the phenomenon. It clears the way for military reports without censorship to our elected representatives. If a program refuses to cooperate, the chairs and ranking members of every involved congressional committee must be informed of who is not cooperating. It also opens the door to unclassified public congressional hearings about UAP. There are still a couple of votes needed to finalize to make it a law. This is how a democracy is supposed to work. I will be posting a blog about this, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then just to bring it home here, this is amazing from another perspective. It was accomplished without any lobbying by interested parties. Two former Pentagon officials, Luis Elizondo and Christopher Mellon, are instrumental, but there were no outside organizations that lobbied for this. Very unusual in Washington for a new idea to come forward without any supporting lobbying campaign. This was key members of Congress pushing back against the unwillingness of the Pentagon and intelligence community that have had a stranglehold on the information of this type since World War II. So, what we're saying here, folks, is that, yeah, they're going to go ahead and they're going to have this new organization. They're going to fund it in the whole 9 yards. But again, what gets me about it is they're coming out and saying, well, yeah, but it's going to be handled by the Pentagon. No civilians are going to see this information. Then they come out and they say, okay, well, this is the biggest, most comprehensive legislation, blah, blah, blah. And if somebody refuses to cooperate, the chairs and the ranking members will know about it. Well, if it's the Pentagon, it doesn't mean anything. That's worthless. I mean, you think the Pentagon really cares about what some senator thinks about UFOs? Of course not.
Right. It's also the Department of National Intelligence that's also in control. So the intelligence community is going to have it, and they've had it for the past 75 years.
Yeah.
And they're just going to slam the hammer down, and we're not going to see any type of disclosure, not publicly.
Terry, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, first of all, I want to say, give a shout out to James Lowe, fellow lawyer down in San Diego, who I know, who is the author of this.
Right.
He has a website at jpluto.com. That's jpluto.com. I think that this just absolutely does away with any kind of transparency we were hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
We like Tommy said, we're right back where we started.
Right. Lou Elizondo, even though he was part of getting this pushed through as a bill, he also came out and said recently that with the change in the bill, by excluding the civilian arm of the bill, meaning that civilians will not have a private UAP research group, it will lack transparency from now on. There won't be any transparency. It'll be gone. It's over.
This will be all discussed behind closed doors and classified committees and subcommittees, and we'll never hear a word about it.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
It'll get compartmentalized in every conceivable way. We know that the unclassified UAP report that dropped this last year, we know that the classified version of that has a lot of the answers that we seek, at least in terms of photographs and videos of the phenomenon. I'm talking about stuff that's really up close and personal. And we know that because we've had senators come out and say that they were absolutely shocked and disturbed by it. One of them actually likening it to be a science fiction movie. To think about that for a second. Unfortunately, we're going to be in the dark for the next 75 years, it sounds like. Once the military gets involved in something, it's real easy to classify everything after that.
What really struck me is let me see here, just a sec. This agreement contains language requiring the Pentagon/intelligence community to study health effects on contact with UAP. Now, they're going to study health effects from people that have contact with UAPs. That means they're going to be evaluating people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, military, civilian. If UAPs affect the military in the field, they got to affect civilians here too.
Sure.
Right. Abductees, experiencers. Yeah.
So when Jim went through this bill, he pulled that out. I mean, everything is structured here for a reason, and he states that as number one. That's the number one objective, is to study the health effects of contact with UAP, and then comma, along with other defense aspects of the phenomenon. So that makes me wonder, there must be somebody hurt.
Yep.
That's the conclusion I draw.
Sure.
Well, if we refer to the Colaris event that you and I were talking about backstage, Terry, people were hurt with beams of light. They were burned and some were killed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that the South American thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that was a big deal. That made all the big shows, the channels like Unsolved Mysteries and all of that. That one is a well-known thing. It's unfortunate that we live in a great country, but let's be honest, the bureaucracy in this country it really overtakes the plumbing on everything that we tried to do here. And the fact that certain senators are going to know what's really going on like they do now, but the rest of us won't. I think that's just appalling. I think that if we know that it's not the Russians or the Chinese at this point or the Iranians, I think if we can be reasonably certain it's not the South Africans, the Australians, or the Greeks, I think if it's especially been proven that it's not the Spanish or the Portuguese, then I'd say it's okay to go ahead and release that information to the public because it's not a national security threat from another entity on this planet. If not, why not?
Well, they do come out and say that for the most part, I saw a news report recently where they came out and said point blank, it's not from our arsenal or from any foreign arsenal, including China or Russia. And that they're researching the same thing we are. They're trying to figure out the origin of these anomalous sightings. The only problem is, if you consider all the different possibilities, that could be one of the reasons why they can't pin it down.
Well, it's almost like they want to keep, in my opinion, they want to keep the information away from the civilian scientific community because we might actually solve the puzzle here. Okay, we might actually do that because they're going to work without a lot of that bureaucracy and things that get in the way of doing any kind of serious research. So, in my opinion, I think that's probably one of the reasons. But it's all about it. It's like Stan Friedman said. Everyone remembers the late Stan Friedman. It's all about governmental control. That's what this is about.
Exactly.
It's about they want to keep us in the dark, and they have their own reasons, but they don't even want to know us to know the reasons why. So. Where do you go from there? Now, Nancy Volker, real quick, she made a statement. Let me find that. Nancy, what did you say? She says, I think it's flipping, Tommy. I think within 10 years, it will all be different. Well, that could very well be. But you know what I think will happen? I think what will probably happen is we're probably going to get some, let's be honest, we can't keep a secret in Washington. And I think that we're going to start seeing a lot of things leaking out as these investigations move along that are funded now, properly funded. And I think if we get anything, it'll be because of leaks and stuff. Terry, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. It'll be, somebody getting a hold of Linda Moulton Howe. That's because that's the only way it's going to get out. But I don't know.
What do you think, Janet?
I agree with all of you.
Well, it's unfortunate that we have to live this way. Those of us that have had these experiences, I mean, they're not telling us anything. We already know it. It's like we always say, you don't have to convince me. You don't have to convince Tim. You don't have to convince Terry or Janet. We're all experiencers. We've all had experiences with this type of phenomenon. It's my neighbor, my boss, my grandfather, everybody else in the world is who I need you to convince. Okay, I already got this, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like the person I talked to like a week ago. I mentioned on the live stream that I talked to a young man who was visiting, and I asked him about UFOs, and he said, "What are they?" He didn't even know what a UFO or a UAP was. So there are people out there that do not know what this subject entails or what it's all about. And we at the show here are trying to share that information by showcasing people such as Janet Darling, Terry Lovelace, and others. And that's what our goal is to get the information out, the facts as other people see them.
I think it's pretty, to me, well, I'm just going to speak for myself, but to me, it's pretty obvious that if these entities, these aliens, these creatures, these craft, whatever they are, if they were in fact hostile, they could have wiped us out a long time ago. They still can. I don't think it's a matter of, I think we're more of a curiosity, or they have some sort of agenda when it comes to human DNA. I don't believe they're hostile, because if they were, we'd be toast. They would have wiped us out a long time ago.
Tommy, Tim and I had that discussion earlier today, and I made a point, and I think it's relevant. And that is that the Soviet Union / Russians have been a threat to the United States for the past 90 years, and they've never attacked us. They've never been overtly hostile, but that sure doesn't mean that they're benign by any stretch of the imagination.
That's true. And also that the government, though, never hid the fact. In fact, they pushed the fact on us that the Soviets were dangerous. And I think in many ways, and I remember growing up during the Cold War, they used that fear against the American public. But, it could be tomorrow. They could nuke us tomorrow. And, you heard all that crap that back in the day. With UFOs, they're not doing that. They're just like, we don't know what they are. And then that's the end of the conversation as far as civilians go.
Although
I need more than that.
I think what Terry was trying to say is that the aliens are not hostile or benign in any way.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably either they're indifferent to us, or again, we're part of some sort of grand plan or agenda that they have.
Right.
Because I mean, it would just seem to me that it would be pretty easy to come up with if you have that kind of technology, some sort of a biological agent or something that's spread on the planet that would kill every single one of us. Shouldn't be a problem,
Well, worldwide, there's 100,000 people disappear every year without a trace from
That's
state,
true.
in this country, from state and federal parks.
You bet.
So, we can't rule that out. We don't know where those people are going.
That's
We don't know
true.
where they went. So,
Right.
So
we don't know if they're being hostile or see, our perception of hostility may be totally different from what they're viewing it as. It might be indifference to them.
Well, I think they could be operating with an agreement with the United States government or world governments. It's got to be one of three. I mean, it's either we're working arm in arm with ET, or ET and is giving us something, and then we're giving him something in return, like maybe people,
right?
animals, livestock. Or number three, ET is so far above us here, he can act, however he wants, and we can't do a darn thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They're acting with impunity. Right.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I think it's number three.
I think you could be absolutely right about that, actually.
Yes. And I think that a lot of people out there don't realize whether they've been abducted or not.
Or there's probably a lot of people that even if they do have flashback memories and things like that, they dismiss it because they're afraid to deal with it.
Right.
That's a big thing. If someone's taken your personal liberty away from you without your knowledge, I mean, it just really doesn't get any worse than that for the human psyche.
Right. I agree.
So I don't know. I mean, to me, I think we've had abductions going on for a very long time. I think this has been going on for a while. Who knows why they're happening, but there does usually sort of seem to be some sort of a medical experiment involved. Now, I mean, they've had plenty of time to study human anatomy. I promise they've got us all mapped out better than we do. So why do they continue to do that? Why is there always a medical examination? Or almost always.
Well, it's like what Terry said before the live stream. It's like how we tag and experiment on animals that are taken from the Serengeti. They're doing the same to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We could be tagged and released into the wild and just like we do with sharks and other animals like that. I mean, who knows? Who knows what they're doing? But the point is, whatever they're doing, it's actually happening. It's actually real. This is actually going on in people's lives. Terry is a great example of this. He's an experiencer. He was and I don't really like to use the word abductee, but he's an abductee, if you will. There are a lot of credible human beings out there having this discussion. This isn't this tale told by Billy Joe, the drunken hillbilly anymore, folks. I mean, this is real, and we need to start treating it as it's real. And once you start treating it like it's reality, you know what? It'll become reality. That's just the way it is.
Right. It will. Mm-hmm. And if you ever want to see a good interview on alien abduction, just come to our channel and check out the Terry Lovelace interview. Mm-hmm. It tells all. It does.
It's out on our website, folks. That's www.ufomannetwork.com. Go out there and check that out. That's one of our absolute favorites.
Okay,
thanks, very kind.
Before we sign off this evening, I got to give a shout out to my subscribed members. Donna McFadden, Goddess XOXO, Beats, and Occam's Razor. Thank you for joining the channel. If you're interested in joining the channel, you can do so for $1.99 a month. There's a lot of perks and free merchandise and drawings, and it would be greatly appreciated. Also, I have to advertise Tommy Highway. He is an author. He has two amazing books out, one called Strange Tales from the Highway and another one called She Time. They're available at www.tommyhighway.com. Tommy?
Folks, want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Want to thank our wonderful guest, Terry. As always, thank you for being here with us, brother. You really do make it a great show. Janet, thank you very much. Your stories are very interesting. Thank you for providing all of your material to us, your photos and stuff. Wish we had more people like you out there doing just that for us, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
But
Thank you, guys.
want to thank everybody for coming out as always, folks. We have some great shows coming up. We've got our New Year's show is going to be 2021 in review. That's going to be clips of our favorite clips, UFO clips of the year. It's going to be bits and pieces of a lot of the people that we've actually interviewed over the years. So it should be a fantastic show. And again, I want to thank everybody for coming out as always.
Yeah, thanks to everybody in the chat room, and thanks to everybody who participated online. And we will be live streaming on Christmas Day, but before then, Merry Christmas to everyone, and have a happy holiday, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.